Yaakov Avinu had a very difficult life. He was born with a brother Esav who tormented him for the first decades of his life. And that period ended with his running away from Esav because Esav wanted to kill him. He finds himself in the fields of Lavan for 20 years, oftentimes sleeping in the very fields with the sheep, being duped and being defrauded throughout the long period. And when he leaves that situation, he again meets Esav, who comes out to kill him. He barely escapes that situation. And when he lands finally in Israel, the entire event with Dinah being kidnapped, Levi and Reuven kill out the inhabitants of Shechem. From that situation he escapes, and then his beloved Yosef is stolen, and in Yaakov's mind for 22 years Yosef is dead. Clearly he suffered many situations, much pain, and the results showed themselves. He had aged and he looked very ancient, to the extent that when Yosef presents his honored father Yaakov to Paro, Paro's first words are, "How old are you?" The Rishonim observe that's not a very polite thing to say to a man you've never met before, but Paro had never seen such an ancient-looking man in his life. He was so aghast by the vision in front of him that he couldn't help but say, "How old are you?" And Yaakov's response was quite simple, "Ma'at v'ro'im yomai." It's not that I'm so old, it's not that I lived that many years, it's that I suffered bad situations, difficult trials. Ma'at v'ro'im, few but bad were my days. Dasakanim brings down the Medrash that says because of that expression, Hashem punished Yaakov, and because of that, Yaakov lost many years of his life. Hashem said back to Yaakov, "Look what I did. I saved you from Esav. I protected you from Lavan. You thought Yosef was dead, but I protected him and I brought him to a position of power. You didn't see it, but all along I was there with you. I protected you. I guided you. You say the words Ma'at v'ro'im. How could you say that? Because of that, you're to be punished." This Medrash is quite difficult to understand, because every word that Yaakov said was correct. He did suffer. He did have a very difficult life. What was Hashem's complaint that you say Ma'at v'ro'im yomai when it was actually quite accurate, quite descriptive of the events of his life? And I believe the answer to this question is based on seeing through the illusion of reality. When we human beings are presented with danger, the reality is we have to understand that Hashem is right there. The scary situation isn't scary if we understand that Hashem created, maintains, and orchestrates this world. My job is to use this world. My job is to go out there and use the world as Hashem wants me to use the world, but I'm also obligated to understand that everything that I see in front of me is but illusionary. Hashem is there, guiding me, protecting me. No harm can befall me other than that which was decreed by Hashem. And that understanding is something I have to take out with me wherever I go throughout life. I have to understand that all of the frightening situations are literally smoke and mirrors and just mirages. They look very threatening, but Hashem is there guiding me throughout every situation. You and I may never reach that level, but Yaakov Avinu was there. Yaakov Avinu got up in the morning and Hashem was right there. Yaakov Avinu went to sleep at night and Hashem was right there. Throughout his day, with him all day long, Hashem was present. And therefore Hashem had a complaint against Yaakov. Didn't you see I was there? Didn't you see that the threats were not really threats? Had you been able to cut through the smoke and mirrors to a greater extent, you would have seen that there was no danger from Esav. You would have understood that every situation I was there guiding you and protecting you, and you would not have aged. The fact that you suffered was because you took this world way too seriously. The fact that there are wrinkles on your skin, gray hair in your beard, is because you looked at this world and you took it way too seriously. What you fail to realize is that it's all a mirage, all a bluff. What Hashem was saying to Yaakov Avinu was a powerful lesson in the extent that Hashem is involved in this world and the extent that bitachon, trusting in Hashem, will change a person's life. When we understand how involved Hashem is, there's a sense of trust, a sense of calm. And for a man on Yaakov Avinu's level, had he fully grasped that, he would have been calm throughout every situation, would have maintained his equanimity, he would not have suffered. The fact that he was ancient and looked old was because he failed to see through the illusion of reality.